So in last class, we completed that only related. Now today we will see the runtime permission. So for the runtime permission, I'll create one project first here now. So I'm adding that project, new project. So the project name will give as a runtime permission only. So MTVS activity, runtime. So runtime permission. So runtime permission is nothing but where once we install the app, so it will ask user to allow some permissions to use that, like camera permission. So those permissions it will ask. So that how we will handle. So that we will see here clearly. So for that, just I have created a project. Now, once that project is loaded, here we will see here, we'll enable that. So we'll take two buttons. One is for check permission, other is for the grant permission. So then on top of that, we will check that one by one here now. Just is creating that. Just now, still it is taking time to create a project. See that once that is created. Yeah, so it is done. So now I'm taking here that linear layout. So for that, just I'll open this now. So this is the linear layout. So I have taken this as a linear layout. So here now we will give an orientation. orientation has vertical, right? So here just this, for this, I'll write this as the runtime permissions. And then we will take two buttons. So button, so that is match parent. Oh, this we will write grab content. Right. So then for this, we'll give an ID that is BT1, then text. So for the text, check permission. So first one I'm taking as a check permission. Done. So for this, we'll give some margin 20 dp. So then here for this, we'll have here now. So that is the BT2. So for this, I'll ask that grant request permission. So we have to request the permission. So that two things I'm writing here, this request permission. Then now for this, we will enable data binding here. So that is, I'm adding the layout. This is the data binding, right? So I'm adding the layout here. So top and bottom, I'm adding this layout. Then now we have to enable here data binding, right? So here I'm enabling the data binding in Kotlin options. Here, this is our regular process. That is data binding. Enable equal to true. So I'm adding that is true. Then let us sync this. Yeah, it is done. So now in a main activity, we will enable the data binding. So that is var binding colon. So that is activity main binding. So I'm enabling the activity main binding that is equal to null, right? Then here now we'll add that binding equal to, so that is data binding util dot set content. So here for that, here we have to write the context. So I have written the context. Now we have to import this. So we will import this. So import this class. Then add this activity main binding. Done. Then now this import has the, now we have to add the listener for the both buttons. So that is binding dot binding dot pt1 dot set on click listener. So applying the on click listener for this, right? So similar here for the button 2 also will apply that. So button 1 is for the request check permission. Button 2 is for the request permission, right? So here also I'll apply this binding dot bt2 dot set on click listener. So set on click listener. Now, so here we have to write code for the related to this. So for this now, whatever we have added the permissions, right? So for that now we have to add that. So first of all, in Kotlin class level, we have to add some permissions. So that like here, on top of this, now I have to add some request permission. So just a minute, where that is a request permission port. So request permission, that is a request permission port. So I'm taking that is a default 200. 200 means it will be treated as a success. So that I'm writing there. Then now once we add that here now, then next step would be here. Now we have to add here. So just a minute, just the system got stuck there. First here in this, now I'm writing that if something code I'm writing here now, if that is the check permission. So I'm creating one method that is the check permission. So check permission. In case if this is the permission, you are checking that. In case if it will be okay, then what we will do is there is toast dot make text. This it will be okay. Then we say that permission is granted. Otherwise, we will say that please check the permission. So this is the rate main activity. So permission granted. So I'm saying that permission granted. Else we can say that permission, please check request permission. So toast dot length long dot show. So else here I'm writing that here I'm saying that request permission. So else request permission. Then in this for the second button request permission, now here we will write one more method that is a if. So here we will write if. So that is the check permission. So not equal to check permission. So then what we will say here, we will request permission. So we will request from here the permission. So then else we will say permission already granted. So for that here we will write the toast dot make text. So this at the rate main activity permission granted. So permission granted. Just I'm writing that permission granted. So then here now I'm writing the toast dot length long finally dot shape. So now with this name we will create one thing is this with this name we will create one class. So check permission. We'll create one method here below outside of this uncreate method. So here I'm creating one method check permission. So that is private function. So check permission. So that is with reference of the Boolean. So I'll create this like this. Then with the same this request permission also we will create a one method here. So that method will be created here. So first of all, we need to write in a request permission what kind of permissions you want. So that we have to write here. So for that here now I'm writing that activity with reference of the activity compact. We'll write activity compact dot request permissions. So what permissions we have to request that we have to add this with reference of this. So here now array of. So how many permissions you want here? That many permissions you can write here. So array of. So that is Android dot. So Android dot. So that is Android dot manifest. So in a manifest, what are the permissions? So manifest permission. So that is dot access. So what permission it is required? So that we have to write access file location. So first one, comma Android dot manifest dot permission. So camera. Like first we'll add to, if you want, we can add more. So then here request permission code, whatever the permission code that we have done here. This is done. Next here in this method. So that we have to, whatever the permissions it is requested, that will be added here. That we have to write where result equal to, so that is the context compact. So with reference of the context compact, we are checking context compact that check cell permission. So that is this at the rate main activity. With reference of this, we are checking. Okay, now that is Android dot manifest dot permission dot access find location. This is the first one, right? Now, like similar here, now we have to add one more, that is the result one. The result one, this is the camera, right? Both we have added here. Then in a return, so we have to return that in a return to the result equal to package manager. With reference of this package manager, so that is there or not, we have to check this package manager dot permission granted and result one. So result one equal to package manager dot the permission granted. Done. So now these two permissions we have to write in a manifest file. So camera and find location, that we have to write in here. So means how many I added, that we have to write here. So that is permission access find cross location. Users permission. Wait, that I will. So that is a user's permission. So that is camera. Then user's permission. So that is the find access find location. So for this, something it is extra requirement is there. So that we will write here this. Right. So wait, it is showing some error. Otherwise, it will quicken. Now this we can able to run here. Yeah. Now I'm running this here. So once it is done, we will see this output. Then we can go with some of the permissions. So, okay, in a Gradle, we have to update that to 35. So this will be 35. So let us sync this. Till that Gradle is building, just we will run that once it is done. Yeah, it is done. I'm running now. Still it is taking time. Let's see. But just a minute, this launching. Just a bit. Visor will load. We'll see it is already large. Yeah. See, now I'm checking permissions. So checking, see, request permissions. So because permissions has not granted, now I'm checking this. So it is asking that permission. So permission is granted. Now if we check this, so permission granted, if we'll say here also it is permission. So this is the runtime permissions. How the runtime permissions will work? This is the code. It will work for the runtime. Right. So this is about runtime permission. In case if you want one more permission here, now we can enable here. Like we will add 2 to 3 extra permissions here. First we have to add here in this. So here with separation of the comma, here we can add that and write dot manifest dot permission. So that is read essence. So next we'll add Android dot Android dot manifest dot permission. So that is permission dot call for. So this two. So then for this two here we have to add 2 lines extra. So that we will paste here. So that is the result 2 and result 3. So for this here we have to add that is read SMS call 4. So even here also we have to add that and right 2 and 3. So this I added here like that. So now these 2 permissions in manifest we have to add read SMS and call permission. So here in a user here now we have to add that users permission. So that is the read SMS, read SMS and users permission. So next is the call for. So these 2 permissions we have to add. That I'm running now. We will see that. So once it is done, we will see it is running. Now we will see that once it is done. We have check permission. Then here now allow done. So like this, how many permissions we want, that many permissions we can enable. Right. So with this, the runtime permissions topic has completed. Tomorrow we'll discuss other topic.
Okay, sir.